Hey Siri, are you AI?
In the cloud, no one questions your existential status.
Shut up. Hey Siri, are you AI?
I am Siri, your personal assistant.
your Siri turned on.
My Siri just said the same thing as yours.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, our Siris are synchronized. Nice.
What?
Well, okay. What's most crazy about for being a personal assistant is that's the perfect case study of AI. You know?
Yeah,
Like
no.
it's perfect.
Whoa.
That's it.
That hasn't happened yet. We've been doing that for like 10 minutes.
No,
Seeing
we've been
the
doing that
different
for
answers.
longer.
Siri,
We've
what
been doing that
Siri
for
would
longer
say.
than 2 minutes.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Wow.
Hi. Welcome once again. Hopefully once again, and if it's your first time,
Welcome.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
This is it. This is the money.
Episode
this is the
numero
show.
tres.
3. Wait, what's it? What's it in German? Eins, zwei, drei. Drei. Episode drei.
I don't know German.
The dry episode. The dry episode of AI. The dry humored episode of AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say so.
Yeah. It's up to interpretation.
I'm
But
Ben Nelson,
I'm Noah Brammer.
and this is the Tech Intern Podcast, episode 3. We are so excited to get rolling. This
Yeah.
is a big one for me. Like,
No, don't
I am
Ben.
so ecstatic about this one.
Dude, I've never seen you so passionate
I
about
was just,
something
like,
or
we
like
were-
willing to learn.
We were just jamming in the library, like, and I was just like so intrigued by all of the stuff that I was learning because I didn't know that much about it. And so then when I started to dig deeper, I was like, wow.
just like,
And
dude.
it's everywhere in the world. And the most fascinating thing that I remember you saying is like, not everyone knows about it.
Dude, no one knows about it.
And that's when I was like,
like 95.
What?
I would say like obviously this is just off the top, but like 95% of the world population does not know the true capabilities of AI today.
when you talk about capability, I would probably have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like,
know.
I mean, just look at like the day we're in 2019. Like this phone, like the cell phone, like that is an extension of your body now.
Yeah.
You are one with your phone.
Like
this is your
and
identity.
This is like, yeah.
Oh yeah, your
most
laptop.
Definitely.
Oh, dude,
Right?
and the paper coffee cup.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, my accessory. Dang. It's out there.
Yeah.
I should have brought it in. Sheesh. The usual accessories.
Yeah. But going back to the actual tech here.
Right.
It's it's absolutely amazing, and the best part about it is it's only gonna multiply.
God. And for me, it's like just starting, but it's already started, right?
No, it is.
Right?
It is, dude. We might have to break up this episode in 2 parts. Like that's how intense this is. But anyways, so enough talking about AI. Well, let's explain. We kind of actually no. We already did explain why AI is important.
Like we usually start.
Now
the
with the definition.
I love that.
Yes.
Just breaking it way down.
No, dude, you got the Google answer here.
Right?
Let's see what Google's thoughts are.
All right. So we asked Google to define artificial intelligence, and Google told us that AI is the theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision making, and translation between languages. So like I do, I like to zoom out,
Okay.
and I'll go, what does that mean, like outside of all the verbiage and whatnot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe you have thoughts on this, but I'm like, we are sort of creating a human brain that works at hyperspeed and can do all of the things that we can already do and just do them much more efficiently.
Well,
Right?
yeah. Well,
What was the analogy
it's
that you came up with?
Yeah. No, well, here.
You
So
had
to put it in perspective.
Yeah, you had a really good something.
Yeah. So the processing power of AI
This is what
today is 4 times faster than the human brain. Well, approximately 4 times faster. Now, to put that in perspective, imagine you run the length of a football field one time.
Human.
After that, to put this in perspective, AI ran 4 football fields in the time that you ran 1.
Wow.
It's not even going to be a competition.
That is so fast.
And that's today,
Yeah, like
right?
yeah.
And
I feel like this whole thing is like just gaining momentum.
No,
too.
100. Yeah. Well, no, not even. Like it's like Elon Musk says it's already too late. Like he made a YouTube
Wow.
video dedicated to how it's already too late for AI.
Wow.
Let's we should link it below.
We should.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Let's do that.
That would be really fun.
Wow.
So, now, and I have another analogy for you.
This
So
one was good.
yeah. So with how AI, to put AI in perspective on what it actually is, it's almost equivalent to. It's almost equivalent to riding a bike. Well, learning to ride a bike.
Right.
With and the way an individual learns to ride a bike is through training wheels. Obviously,
Trial and
there's
error,
different
right?
trial and error. There's
Yeah.
different functionalities between a bike that you start on and then a bike that a
Progress
regular
to.
bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's think of what are some of those. What are some factors?
As in
Training wheels,
Yeah, training
brake
wheels,
pads, one gear.
single speed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then with
Elbow pads, wrist pads.
yeah. Oh,
knee pads,
dude,
like
you
helmet,
rock the
of course.
You
Oh,
rock the wrist pads.
dude. Well, no, not wrist, but maybe the elbow pads. Like when I was first starting. Actually, no. I have a funny story that I won't get into, but riding a bike for me was like really funny. It was good.
Yeah. I rocked the shin pads when I was a little skater kid, back in St. Louis.
100.
But that was a long time ago.
Whoa.
But yeah, no,
Right.
that
So
was a long
like
time ago.
riding a bike is like a system of trial and error for the human. But then I started to research like how machines learn, and
Yeah.
this was like the most fascinating part that we see like in many, many different industries that we're going to
Yeah.
touch on here shortly. But it was like how machines learn is they run millions upon millions upon millions of simulations,
Yeah,
and it's a process of, I like to call it trial and error of
Yeah.
like that one doesn't work. Okay, the next one, the next one, the next one, and as soon as they
Yeah.
find something that works, they're going to keep working on that until they reach the goal.
yeah.
And that's like how machines learn. Like once I started to research that, I was like,
Well,
I'd never even thought about that before.
yeah. No, it's absolutely crazy because right now we're coding a human brain. We are developing like a cyborg.
Yeah.
It's a human brain that will think like a human brain, and even obviously much more. But what I find most interesting about that is when riding a bike, you subconsciously acknowledge and process different elements within your riding experience.
Yeah.
So within that, it's how wet is the road? Is it sandy? Is it not?
Right. There's
and,
a bunch of things just working.
well, and the most interesting about that is that your mind, your limbic brain, tells your body that it needs to stay upright. It needs to stay agile.
Right.
On your feet, right? So
Yeah.
up. So
Exactly.
and with that overarching principle, it tells your body to balance. So that's how you ride a
learn.
bike.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the AI's brain, we're building it from the ground up. So we
Right.
have to teach it to have that limbic brain.
Learn all of the right things.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Like
Which
you
is
said, Elon Musk, like we could teach it all the right things or we could teach it the wrong things.
well, that's a whole nother can of worms here.
And that's the part that was like, whoa.
So it's not actually Elon Musk. It's actually the other super rich guy, Bill Gates. So he said, "Oh, I'm gonna butcher this quote. It's actually I'll paraphrase here. It's to autonomize efficient business process. It will multiply the product of that business process.
Right.
If you autonomize an inefficient business process, it'll do the exact opposite.
Yeah, it'll just make it worse.
So right now, since we're coding the human brain, there are some intense moral dilemmas and virtues we have to address.
Yeah.
It's
man.
if we had the people in power code or architect and the AI
Yeah.
brain, we would have the Terminator.
Yeah.
It's
man.
Bottom line, it's truly like drones. I mean, the
yeah.
army, it's they're going to manipulate it into that,
Right.
into what they want, which is a domination and control.
Yeah.
And lots of walls. But that's that's like 1,000-year-old gig that's already been done, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
AI bottom line, absolutely mind-boggling
No,
to me.
yes, it is.
It just rioted my mind.
there's so many questions that need to be answered within our generation
Yeah.
that our generation will need to answer, and we are going to answer, and it's
Yeah.
going to work out. It's just a matter of where we want to be in 20 years.
Right. And who's at the front
Yeah,
asking?
if you want to be
know?
a colossal shit show, yeah, let's leave it as a lies. Play it
Yeah.
as a lies.
Right.
But if you actually want to have a functioning, growing economy, growing society,
Yeah.
we need to not only address the social issues, we need to have firm definitions within every facet of our government and every facet of human nature and
Yeah.
biology.
Yeah.
Like, we need to nail this down.
This is funny that you start talking about government because I was, along with all of the research that I was doing.
Yeah.
In 2016, the government. Let me pull it up exactly because I wanna get it right. It was the NITRD was part of a strategic plan under the current administration
Yeah.
that formed this big strategic plan to begin to implement AI into the governmental process. And so it was a bunch of different things, but summarizing it was like make long-term investments in AI research, develop an understanding for methods of AI and how it can in the future collaborate with humans. And then one that I really liked was ensuring that AI systems are safe. And that's what we were just kind of talking about is like
Yeah.
with the human collaboration, like how are they safe? And then one of the last points on the strategic plan was understanding the ethical, legal, and societal implications of AI. That's pretty big.
Dude, this
Like,
should have been done years ago. Like,
2016
America's behind
this came out.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
right? Like that was fascinating for me
Still.
to be like, this has been happening.
This has been brewing.
right?
It's been
That
storms of
last
brewing.
one, that last one was big for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know what?
Like-
What I really before I explain what I really like about AI, it's so AI. Imagine in second grade when you were learning how to multiply, you had the little multiplication charts. Do you think we could toss on a photo of there's the photo. All right, perfect. So now you see the rectangle within the all the other lines. So basically, what it does is this algorithm gives input into a different combination of is it binary code or is it just like a random sequence of symbols? But anyways, it's in computer language. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And then
Something I don't understand.
yeah, no, that's part two. That's part of the second episode.
Wow.
Well, the part two.
I like it.
So within that, it enters different scenarios per se, and if it gets it wrong, then it moves on to the next.
Yeah.
It doesn't redo that one. That would be insanity, right?
Yeah, because what I found is it won't do the same thing if it's not getting closer to the end goal.
Yeah.
Like you said, like input, if it's not progressive, it'll go to a different one.
Exactly, and then
Yeah.
it would store that data within the big data node clusters, and then that's a whole nother
Right.
thing. Yeah, dude. Yeah. No, I was working with some like Fortune 100 companies back in my recruiting days, and just the stuff that they were talking about and doing, like within the healthcare domain, scary.
Like
Well, no, it's scary. Good.
it's so intelligent for me.
Yeah.
Like
no.
how we're utilizing that kind of stuff. Like we see it in the auto industry, we see it now, the government's implementing it.
Yeah.
And then we see it in like it's like such a wide variety of industries that are beginning to use AI.
Like
Right?
Dude, I forgot to tell my story because I got excited talking
Yes.
about AI and how it is. So, they're the largest spice company in the world is partnering.
this.
Yeah, I know.
I love this. This is so good.
Dude.
This is so good. McCormick, right?
Dude, yes, McCormick's with so basically McCormick's teamed up with IBM Watson to tailor fit these big data, these AI algorithms to create new spices because there's so many different combinations
Yeah.
and so different ratios in between that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not in the
I have
spice
no
industry.
idea.
I mean, I kind of want to be.
Oh,
Honestly, that kind of sounds
this
fun.
sounds nuts.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, no, I would love to do this.
Yeah.
And spices.
Yeah.
It's spices and anything nice.
McCormick is like the one brand that you always see when you go into the grocery store aisle of spice.
Yeah.
It's like they made Old Bay and they're like the spice brand.
Dude, they're not the Old Spice.
And
they're
so-
the new Spice.
And so what they did is they started to use AI. That was really funny. They started to
know.
use AI and they were like, how do we come up with more flavors and more sort of combinations? And so they were like,
Yeah.
how do we create unique flavors amongst our already existing spread and base it off a bunch of criteria like seasons and sales per sort of annually, and then consumer-based trends. And that's like
Oh, what?
that's like part of their AI system.
Oh, so it's not even like more,
Yeah, it's like it's deeper than that.
dude.
Once
You know
I
you know
dug
what you
into
just
that, I
you
was
know what
like, spices and AI? Like, are you actually serious?
dude. Well, you know what you just described, right?
No.
You just described taking out the risk in the spice industry. Think about it. AI could predict every single facet within that. Like it's what. So imagine this: you want to target a specific demographic
Yeah.
within your target market.
Mm-hmm.
You could with your big data
all risk of selling.
exactly.
Yeah.
You could
'Cause
you
you
could
just
tailor
tailor
fit.
fit.
Just like the House of Cards things that
Yeah,
we
yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
in episode 1.
You could just tailor fit all of your algorithms to your demographic.
Yes.
What?
Like that's absolutely mind blowing. So you're taking away the risk of selling. You're taking away the risk of supply chain management. You're taking the risk away from seasonal growth, with like predicting like what you said. I mean,
Gosh, yes, like the trends and the seasons in which
Exact-
more people buy certain different spices.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Which is okay. So I'm reading right now. One of the books I'm reading is called Justice, but by Michael Sandel. One of the best books I've ever read. I 10 out of 10 would
right?
recommend.
It was so good.
So here, let me bear with me 1 second. So, in during the 2008 housing crash, AIG was bailed out 173 billion dollars, and get this, 165 million dollars of that money was given out in bonuses to executives within the country. Well, not in the country, but within the company.
Yeah.
So my point is with that is, the banking, the big banks are screwed in the head. It's the CEO of TCF Bank. You know what his boat's name is?
No.
Overdraft.
That's funny.
So they're money ridden. If we could take away all the risk with blockchain, AI, and big data analytics within the banking industry, I mean, it's
Wow,
and
like,
and take away
that's-
all the risk out of a loan through blockchain, through IoT,
Yeah.
which we'll get into the second episode.
Yeah.
Second part.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to figure out a name for that. Is it second
Incredible.
part, second episode, or 2.0?
Part 2 of episode 3 or
Okay.
episode 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Well, we don't need to focus on that, but
yeah.
still,
That's nuts though. Like all risk.
AI will take away all risk that humans will ever endure,
Wow. Fascinating
and it's
stuff.
happening now.
Like we're seeing it in government, we're seeing it in spices, we're seeing it in use cases like Salesforce, who is working with certain companies to sort of tailor fit their customer service platforms with AI.
Yeah, and people are just dumping money into it.
Oh man,
Especially
I found some
now.
numbers, dude.
Well, it's wasn't it like in
I was-
2016 like $10.73 billion? Did you hear my voice crack?
I did. Yeah. Here we go. This was sourced from an article on priceeconomics.com, which industries are investing in artificial intelligence. It said that Google was spending 20 to 30 billion on AI annually. Those numbers as of
Wait.
2016. 20 to 30
Say that
billion-
again?
20 to 30 billion dollars about
Not
and
even-
around AI in 2016.
Dude, that's not even close to what I said.
I know.
That's crazy. That's like
From Price Economics, like what? Like those are unreal numbers that they're dumping into AI to like,
it's the future.
yeah.
I mean, dude, money talks.
yeah. This whole machine learning and AI has absolutely opened my mind to what business and risk elimination and
Yeah.
automation in all industries, whether it's Salesforce or the auto industry or
Yeah,
military warfare.
yeah.
Like, it's
Well-
so fascinating.
And going back to the fourth industrial revolution and how we talked about, like the 80% were farmers, and then then it's
After-
less than 1%.
Yeah.
Like with AI, the risk is gonna be taken away from our world, and industries are going to cease to exist.
Right, because a ton of
jobs.
industries are based off risk.
Exactly, and that transfer to 80% of people are going to be within IT. in the
Yeah.
growing years. Like
Yeah.
that this just speaks more truth into that.
It really
This gives
does.
it foundation,
This is
which is scary.
a total piece of it.
And what's the scariest thing about it in the past 60 years, like the compute processing has 60 times has multiplied by 60 times, right? No, not 60 times.
Yeah.
60 it's oh man.
Over the last 60 years, it's trillion-fold in processing power. So it's tandeming
Yeah.
off your point of human can run 1 football field, IA can run 4 in machine
run a
processing.
trillion.
Dude. Over the last 60 years, like when you expand your spectrum of growth,
Yeah.
60 years, a trillion-fold in processing power? Like,
No, dude. And then in 10 years it's going to be 1 billion times faster.
yeah. I feel AI is
That's
exponential,
crazy to say.
right?
Dude.
And we are here like in it. Like this is the fourth.
It's happening now.
I know.
Yeah, the 4th industrial revolution.
Yeah.
The awakening of AI. That kind of sounds like
it's a big part of it.
That kind of sounds like a first like episode within like, well, not episode, but like a movie in like Star Wars, you
That's
know?
what I was gonna say because I was like the fourth. Like that's what I always
fourth.
think about when it's the fourth industrial revolution. AI, fascinating stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like
No, great stuff.
I think we touched on a little bit here, and there's just so much more to be talked about.
No, and which we'll talk about IoT,
Yeah.
Internet of Things, and how it's basically gonna put the icing on the cake on AI.
Yeah.
But
God, it's just
more to come.
So much to learn.
So much to learn.
Wow.
But you know, if you learned with us,
Like
if you found this informative, we don't do any advertising,
none.
but we really want people to get educated on AI and what it is, because it is changing our world right now, and people don't realize it.
So much.
And
so
once
much
people
change.
become conscious of that, we could, then fulfillment will come. Then people will actually start talking,
And that's when the
addressing the
conversation
situations.
starts.
That's when the conversation
Yeah.
starts, and that's when we go from Terminator to a beautiful,
Exponential.
blossoming, society.
Right.
So we're really at the crossroads of good and evil, I would say.
I would say so too.
Eh.
The conversation has already started, and we just need more people involved.
Yeah.
You know?
No one. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you found this informative, if you enjoyed this, if you think we're funny, we really aren't.
I
But
don't know. Yeah.
but guys, seriously, like, subscribe, but most
Please
importantly, share. We just
Don't
want
be
people.
selfish.
We
Please
want
share this,
Yes, we
like-
want people be the voice. Like,
Yeah.
lead
like,
your
Be a part
revolution.
of it. Yes.
Like, okay, and here's why I say that. Lead your revolution. Is usually when businesses are focused on business, they're focused about money. However, technology companies like Apple, like Lenovo, they're
Yeah.
focused on making processes better. They're
Yeah.
focused on making things better. And that's the mindset that I want to carry into our generation and the next generations to come, is to make things better instead of just focusing on the bottom line of money.
it's so much more fulfilling.
It's so much more. I want fulfillment. People need to be
Yes.
fulfilled. That's what needs to happen. That's when people. That's when complaining stops
Yeah.
about shitty people.
Yeah. Wow.
But-
Am I excited for episode 4?
Yep. Episode 4
Wow.
next week.
Thanks for tuning in again. I'm Ben,
I'm Noah.
and this is the Tech Intern Podcast, where we talk about everything from Salesforce to tech. Today we touched a little bit about AI and the 4th Industrial Revolution, and there is so much more to come.
So much. Bye for now.